Whoa, that light is abrasive. Hello, hello. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. 3 2 1. Anyway, guys, hello. It is me, Lily Noafor, and it's so good to be back on YouTube. I have a major headache. But anyway, it's so good to be back on YouTube again. So, as you know, the new year is slowly but surely coming. Thanksgiving just came and passed. And before you know it, it's about to be New Year's. Christmas is in a few weeks. And so, you know, it's kind of about that time where people are starting to think about their New Year's resolutions. Or if you're not into the whole New Year's resolution thing, just thinking about starting over, starting to think about your goals from now onward. And so I felt like I wanted to share one personal journey of mine has kind of just been about alignment and what feels right for me in this new season of life. This year I just turned 30, and I feel like with turning 30, it's just been this kind of like, not really a crisis per se, but just this kind of realization of like, wow, life is so short. And I can't believe that I'm here already. It's such a blessing to be 30 years old, of course, but it's such a blessing to be in this new chapter of my life, this new decade. But also, it kind of really just makes you realize how fast life goes by, and how much like you're not ready, whether you're ready or not. You know, time is gonna pass. And so I kind of wanted to, today I want to talk about what it means to find alignment in your life. And I think I'm just gonna pull from personal experience, and hopefully the things that I say, hopefully the things that I share resonates with you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. And if you like my content, you like me, you like to just listen to me talk, or put me on while you zone out, feel free to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Or if not, just keep coming back and watching my videos. That's cool too. Yeah, let's go. So step number 1 in my plan is self-isolation. And I know that gets a lot of negative connotation, but let me explain. So self-isolation I think is very important, especially when you're in a new season where you're trying to grow, you know? I think sometimes it's really easy to get distracted by friends, you know, talking on the phone with your friend for 3 hours, or being on Instagram for, you know, who knows how long, and just scrolling mindlessly, or doing all the things that, like, you know, aren't necessarily bad, like going out and having drinks with your friends, or family time. These things are not bad, right? But I feel like when you're in a period of isolation, in a period where you're trying to grow, it's really important that you kind of separate yourself so you can kind of be more locked into your purpose, without any distractions and without any outside influence and any outside opinions. It just kind of, I think it's more of a way to just help you clear out any unnecessary distractions and just really just be focused on your goal and what you're trying to achieve. And I think that's really important for an alignment journey. Okay, number 2. And I think this kind of goes under self-isolation, but I think number 2 is stop listening to others. Okay? A lot easier said than done, but I think, and you know, this sounds so obvious, but listening to others is just, especially when you're in a period where you're trying to find out really what you want to do with your life and what your purpose is, it can deter you a lot, you know, especially if you have like maybe like a new business idea, or you want to pivot careers, you want to pivot and just kind of just really deconstruct your life as you know it, and build a whole new life. Telling other people your ideas, even if it's people who love you, like your family or friends, sometimes can really deter you. It's almost like, it's like when people say, like, you know, when you first get pregnant, don't tell anybody, because anything can, you know, you're so vulnerable in those first few weeks of pregnancy, and you never know what's going to happen. It's like kind of the same thing. If you have an idea in this alignment journey, or if you're just trying to make a brand new version of yourself, create a brand new version of yourself, you really don't want to tell people what you're doing, because you're susceptible to outside opinions. And whether we like it or not, we're all influenced by the people that are closest to us. And that's not a bad thing. I think us as human beings, when we have friends and family, we should trust them enough to want to lean on them for wisdom and their understanding. But there's also a time and place for that. And I think when you want to lean into your own understanding and kind of just gain a deeper sense of wisdom within yourself, you really need to, like I said, step one, self-isolate, but also just keep all your dreams and keep all your aspirations and ambitions to yourself, because you don't want to run the risk of somebody saying a negative comment that just deflates what you, the path that you're on, or just deflates your dreams, or just kind of like makes you start to question yourself, you know? You don't want to leave yourself susceptible to that. So I think that's very important. Okay, number 3, tune into your intuition. And I think this is something that I struggle with a lot. I mean, whether you believe in God or you believe in the universe, whatever, whether you believe in spirit or just any higher power, I think we have this kind of like God-given gut intuition feeling as human beings as to the path that was meant for us, and what's meant for us and what's not meant for us, right? And so I feel like a lot of times as people, when we are trying to be on an alignment journey, whether it's an alignment journey in regards to career, friendships, relationships, fitness, general health, I think when you ignore your intuition, which is your internal guiding compass, right? I think when you ignore that, you tend to derail yourself, right? I think there's really strong importance in being still, really clearing out all the noise and chatter from other people, clearing out all the noise and chatter of distractions of social media, all these things that you see and might influence you to maybe want to go, oh, look at what that person's doing. Maybe I'll go in that direction. Hey, maybe I'll try that. I think there's something beautiful about clearing all those distractions, sitting with yourself in quiet and solitude, and really listening to your internal compass and letting it guide you and speak to you and tell you what the best next step for your life is. Now, you're not always going to have it all figured out, right? It's impossible. But I think so often we take for granted, we take that for granted. We take that intuition, our internal intuition, for granted. We learn to second guess ourselves and not trust ourselves because of the things other people say or society's expectations. But then at the end of the day, I think we always kind of know, not always, but generally we kind of know what is right for us. You know, it's just really a matter of trusting ourselves and letting ourselves fall into that process of whatever our gut is telling us to, whatever direction our gut is telling us to go in. And what number are we at? 5? I don't know. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, number 4. I can count, I promise. I have a bad memory sometimes, okay? I wrote everything down, by the way, because I didn't want to forget. Don't be afraid to try new things. This is something that has been huge for me. So I feel like, especially me, I'm definitely a perfectionist. Sometimes I get into this rut, right, where there are things from my life that I know are in alignment with me, things that I know I want to do for myself. And, you know, I'm like, okay, I'll have my idea, whether it's a business plan, whether it's whatever, right? I'll think about it. Okay, I have my idea. Okay, great, got it. And then I'll think about it, which is great. And then I'll plan it and plan it some more and just make sure that the plan is perfect. And then, you know, kind of circle back to the plan again and go back to the plan and go back to the drawing board and then ask someone about the plan. No. And I'm sure there's so many people who do this as well. It's not just me, but this is something that I can definitely relate to. So I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. But, you know, just don't be afraid to try something. You know, I think as a society, and just as a people in general, we're just so discouraged to try things and fail, you know, or we're discouraged to kind of bop around and try different things. It's kind of seen as flaky It's seen as unserious. It seems like it's seen as directionless. But I think one thing I've learned, especially in my 30s, this might be an unpopular opinion, but being directionless isn't always so bad, especially if it's intentional, you know? If you're just aimlessly wandering the earth and you're just doing random stuff, okay, just for no reason at all, just because you can, that's a different story. But I think allowing yourself to be free, right? Allowing yourself to be free and to figure out what works for you, figure out what you like, whether it's a career. Maybe you're trying to make a transition in your career, right? Maybe you've narrowed your career options down to 3 different jobs, or you've narrowed your career options down to 3 different careers, and you want to try something from each one. That's not so bad, you know? So sometimes you don't have to have everything planned out perfectly, because at the end of the day, you can plan everything you want to plan, but if you don't try things, you're never gonna have concrete real life evidence of knowing what works for you, what you like and what you don't like, right? You can only plan so much before you just have to take the leap with something and see how you feel about it and see if it works. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, great. Or if you like it, that's awesome. Now you can dive even further down this path that you've been interested in. Or if you hate it, then you go back to the drawing board and pivot, and that pushes you in another direction, another path that you were meant for. And so I feel like we have to kind of maybe stop beating ourselves up so much about just planning everything out so perfectly in our lives, and thinking that like life is kind of like a math equation and we have to go to the drawing board and everything has to line up so perfectly, because life is not linear. And I think you just have to experience life, and I think be very comfortable with the unknown. Because at the end of the day, another thing I've kind of tried to internalize for myself is safety is definitely an illusion, right? People always try to encourage you to take the path of least resistance in this life, or I think the more stable path, but safety is an illusion. No matter what, even if you choose a path that you're more familiar with, for example, a job that you hate, maybe you choose to stay in a career that you hate because the money is stable, right? You could lose that job tomorrow. You don't know. Or that company could close down a month from the time you start, and you just don't know. You get me? So it's not to say go out there and be reckless, but I think just keep in mind when you're planning your life, keep in mind if you're in a place where you're feeling unstable, where you're feeling like you want to transition and pivot and do something that feels more authentic to yourself, but maybe it's not so stable. Maybe the plan is not all together, and you're looking back at your past and you're thinking, oh gosh, like I wish, oh gosh, maybe that's a path that's like more stable or makes more sense or is safe. Just keep that in mind. There's no such thing as real safety in this life, So if you want to do something, really want to do something, just surrender yourself to the process and allow yourself to try things. Okay? That's it. Okay, guys. Yeah, I think that's it. I guess that was kind of a short video. I'm not much of a talker, I guess, but I don't know. I just speak from the heart, and that's really, I think, what I had on my chest today. I think I'm definitely going through a transitionary period of my time in my life. And transitional, what am I saying? I'm going through a transitional, or is it transitionary? I'm going through a change in my life. I'm going through a change, okay? Where I think all-encompassing change, like in terms of career. I'm really just reevaluating all my choices up to this point in my life. And I'm like, yo, is this what I want to do? Like, I've been in this career for this long. Is this what I want to do? Do I want to stay in this career? Do I want to move to a different career? Maybe I want to stay in this career, but I want to have 2 other careers, Or even for me, my fitness journey, like I'm in a period of my life too where I'm really committed to just being the best version of myself. mentally, physically, spiritually. I don't know, I said that so weird. Yeah, and I feel like it's just like, you know, maybe it's because it's almost New Year's time, and there's just that spirit of like this revolutionary spirit that kind of takes over people. But yeah, I think I've just realized finding alignment in your life is so short. You know what I mean? And you don't want to spend it doing something that you hate, or something that you've been doing just because someone else told you to do it. You know, life is so short, and so I feel like really being in alignment, that's what will bring you happiness, like true happiness in yourself, because you know that the life you're living is the life that you know that you're living the life you're living because you chose it, not because anyone else influenced you, not because anyone forced you to do it. It's because you did it and you found your path yourself. So yeah, that's just the energy I've been on. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to that. Just let me know in the comments. Like, you know, let me know how you feel, or like what kind of alignment journey you've been on, whether it's been your career or relationships, health, wellness. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I feel like so many of us are going through similar things. We don't always have someone to vent to, or someone who will understand what we're going through. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for my next video, and bye.